Hello and welcome to Voices of Parenting podcast. I am so glad you're here. My name is Mussy Diskin. I am an advanced Nurtured Heart Approach trainer. I am a parenting coach. I am also an inner wealth coach, which means that I help people rediscover and connect to the people that they truly were all along, but may have gotten forgotten along the way. So to find out more about me and what I offer, you can check out mussydiskin.com. I would love to connect and I would love to hear your feedback. Reach out to energizinghearts@gmail.com. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hello, everybody. Today we have the great honor of having Howard Glasser, the creator of the Nurtured Heart Approach, here on the podcast with us. Howard, thank you for being here. This is not your first time here, so this is exciting. I believe this is our third time together.
It's not my first rodeo, and hey, Missy, it's good to be here back with you, and I've lost track. It's always wonderful to see you.
I had a fun idea. So I've been asking people, or I've been inspired to ask people about an aspect of the approach that they feel specifically passionate about and how they use it in their day-to-day lives. And I thought that was so fun to ask you because you are like the entirety of the approach. But what if I challenged you to pick one aspect and talk about how you apply that to your day-to-day life? How would you answer that?
Yeah, I would say, it's not just stand 1, 2, 3, or the intentions, baby steps, etc. An aspect of the approach can be the contentions of the approach too. And the contention that I use day in and day out, and I'm getting pretty darn second nature with, and as soon as I say that, of course I'll be tested to the next level, is that intensity is a gift, and that intensity is actually the source and fuel of a child's greatness, of our greatness. It applies to us. So my application of that is in using that same concept for my own growth, just as we who use Nurtured Heart Approach for the sake of children, we bring them through to using their intensity well, to using their intensity successfully. We prove it to them. We use the clues of the energies that's frustrated us in our encounters with them to inform how to tiptoe and then waltz into that arena. For example, a child has been disrespectful, or a child's been irresponsible, or a child's been whatever.
A child's been destroying property. Can we do that one?
Yes, let's do that one. A child's been aggressive. A child's been destroying property. And so that intensity in us informs us by way of stand 1, no, from here to 4, I'm not going to give the gift of me to that because this kid has drunk in the impression that they get more relationship, more closeness, more connection, intimacy through negativity. So from now on, I'm not going to give myself to that. But the frustration that I'm experiencing in regard to their destroying property informs me that what I do want to do, stand 2, is make it my mission to see the bigger field of when they're not destroying property, because they're not destroying property more than a few minutes a day, typically, in my experience. Maybe more often. Maybe they'll have an embattled half hour or embattled couple of times a day. But the majority of the day is when they're not doing it. And that's when I'm going to dig in and do my work. And I'm going to tell them in no uncertain terms, I really appreciate now that you're not, yelling, knocking things over, jeopardizing things, I'm going to tie that to thoughtfulness, self-control, wisdom, using their power well, being considerate, being compassionate. I'm going to tie that all together, and I am going to harangue them with their successfulness to the point where they begin feeling, I'm going to make it so truthful, not pie in the sky, not BS. I'm going to make it so truthful and forthright what's unavoidable is they have that quality. They have these qualities. They have this inner wealth. And then if they do destroy anything, even a hair of something, I'm basically going to unplug myself, one, and I am going to stand three, hold them accountable by saying reset. I know it sounds like no big deal, but the power of it comes from being stand one, stand two, strong, and then stand three, reset, and then a second or 10 seconds or 10 minutes later, and now the siege is over. And I'm going to go back to building inner wealth because my experience over and over is that a kid who has a growing amount of inner wealth at some level of inner wealth that matches their intensity is not going to want to destroy things. Now, before you say anything, I'm going to commandeer you a little bit. And that's what I do with myself. That's exactly what I do with myself. I use the clues of my intensity to trigger growing inner wealth instead of triggering me into some narrative of I'm a bad person, and try and make those feelings go away. And at my best, I welcome in all the shit in Shinola. And at my worst, I push back and argue with that, and then it becomes more complicated. At my best, I go, yay, energy, I can grow now. I can better grow now at my level of intensity. Okay,
before we got on camera, guys, we were chatting, or I don't know what we were doing. Yeah, it was deeper than chatting, but we talked about simplicity and how, in a way, like, we're so simple because we just stick with Nurtured Heart. Like, Nurtured Heart is so simple. And it's just coming back to this, like, core belief of, like, inner wealth, and that's it. And keep coming back there. That's all we do, And what I'm struck by what you're saying, and this is so personal and not podcasty, but everyone can learn from this whatever they want, is that, like, just being so simple about it. It is so cool how this is coming full circle. So I was sharing with Howard that I have a lot of intensity going on in my life right now. And it's been feeling like from everywhere at the same time, right? And like the simplicity of, like, I think where I leaked, where I got into my stand one a little bit was like, I'm going to be... we do this with kids too. I'm going to use Nurtured Heart in the negativity. Like I'm engaging the negativity with Nurtured Heart, which is a sneaky breach of stand one, because I am transforming the negative, but I'm there. I am there. And if I am there, then there's a reason for it to stay because it's getting what it's looking for. And it's like, whoa, what you just offered me is this gift, this simplicity, which is like kind of what I said I wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, hang on a minute. I'm getting so emotional, Howard. My life is so good. I have so much good in my life. And I have so much good in the very things that are intense right now in this moment. There has been so much growth and so many blessings. And we're objectively, like, if you zoom out of what's it called? My husband showed this to me once, and it's like the most brilliant thing. The stock market, if you zoom out, the ups and downs, it's all up. But if you're zoomed in, it looks like you've crashed to who knows what depth, But if you zoom out, it's like all up.
Right.
It's like we're in such a good place.
That's a great analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. I feel like you just gave me that gift of remembering that, like,
I did. I gave you a treatise on the Nurtured Heart approach inside and out. And it was as good a treatise as I've ever given. And so when I said shit and Shinola, I'm saying it again so it doesn't get edited out.
Sorry, audience. We have,
Forgive my use of dicey words. It's the best words, but you just described the microscopic. I mean, here you are welling up and feeling your emotions, but it's a joyful emotion of feeling the gift. And it's in the midst of the angst and that whole, whatever theory you were working with. I came of age studying classical psychology. That was my education. And it was worse. It was the best school available to go to. So what right did I have to doubt that they don't know what they're doing, all these esteemed people? And so all of what I learned in my great classical education contradicted what I'm telling you, because the many theories were, the proper theories were, if only we, and roast and kind of feast upon, and understand all the, the mental and emotional stuff, then we'll have our act together. Everything will be fine. Well, actually, that's exactly the opposite. What if all thoughts and all feelings and all bodily sensations were actually just to inform us energetically of the clues of where we want to grow? And it is like the stock market, but it has a trajectory. The growth is our inner wealth that's accruing because we keep using the energy to grow, as opposed to how weakening it is to be in that little sneaky, I love how you said that, thank you, that little sneaky side conversation of only if I analyze this well enough, I'll get more out of it. Well, no, you're actually confirming to yourself in some way that you get relationship through negativity, and by kind of feasting upon the negativity, as opposed to, extracting the nectar like a hummingbird. You reach into the thoughts and go, oh, yay, energy. Or you reach into the emotions, yay, energy. And I'm telling you, that has come full circle. That has simplified my life to no end.
I feel like this is like, I'm sorry, audience. This is an experience for me right now. Like I'm sitting here with this, maybe Howard.
Me too. I'm sharing that with you, Mussy. I'm rejoicing. And I don't need to fix whatever it is that you were, have going on in the complexity of, the everything that was going on that led you to, lament.
I feel like I'm recognizing where I've been tired in parenting, and where my tiredness has been, again, that everything's okay. Let me just shut my eyes. But then when it's not okay, I have no choice but to open them. And that's literally every person who works with me. That the hard part for them is oh, but when things are going well, that's finally time that I can shut my eyes, I don't want to mess with the good. I don't want to mess with it. They're playing nicely. I don't want to mess with that. But it's time to lean in once again. It's always one. While we're alive, there's always more. Right. To remember that there's so much here that I want to be engaged with. I don't want to be engaged with all those other times. Those other times are not pleasant. They're not what I want.
I want to be rude. I want to throw a wrench in the spokes a little bit. I'm giving you a hard time today in a good way.
How fun for the audience.
And you're enjoying it. So I'm going to go with it. When I tell what I'm about to tell, I often refer to New Delhi. If you haven't been there, it has a taste and a smell to the air that's different. Because, there's 20 million people. Look up New Delhi. I'm sure it's at least 20 million people. It's a bustling, beautiful city with happiness and pain and suffering. And no doubt the air is toxic. But it's also enriched with some spirit and beauty. And it kind of reminds you. But the point I want to make here is, we can't just hold our breath when we arrive in New Delhi and wait for the time that wherever else we're going to go.
You won't make it.
You won't make it. You won't last 5 minutes, literally. And, we're always breathing. However, we apparently have this superpower to breathe what could be somewhat toxic air or whatever, challenging air. And still, nevertheless, we extract what we need. We get oxygen for one thing, even when the air is seemingly bad. And we then are able to take that oxygen and make it useful, make it purposeful. It sustains us. It keeps us alive. People live to be 100 in New Delhi, as maybe a hair less often than other places, but apparently we're miraculous. And I contend that while we're breathing air, along with oxygen, we're breathing many other things, including energy. And we have the power, just like gathering the oxygen, even though it might be skimpier. We gather the energies of our life all the time. We're never not doing it. We're doing it in our sleep. We won't last 5 minutes if we don't do it. So what I'm describing is not something you don't do, and we just become more awake to. My kids are, squabbling, and I got, two of them need to go here, and one of them needs to go here, and three are crying, and tummy hurts, and I haven't had food, and my car light is in my dashboard is informing me that I got, like something, and then I worry about the cost, and I got 50 or 500 things going on, mental, emotional, bodily. And to me, the home run comes when I go, oh, energy. And it includes it all. It includes what's seemingly toxic. It includes what's prosperous. It includes the good, the bad, the ugly, the pain, the suffering, the glory. It's always there to grow by. And what if life was so simple that we are the ones who complicate it? The simplicity is, how often can we be aware of energy? Yeah, I'm out golfing, or I'm at the beach, or I'm out for a walk. It's a beautiful day, and I'm thinking about something that's distracting me. It's all of it is grist for the mill to go, what do I want? I want simplicity. I hear you saying that loud and clear. You're tired of complexity. You want simplicity. And to me, all you got to do is say, oh, I'm the greatness of simplicity, which sounds simplistic. And it is. It's that simple. Having done this for over 20 years, watch what happens when you start claiming you're the greatness of simplicity. The world will come to you. It may challenge you a little bit, but it will meet you and grow with you, and then you grow with it. That's only a foothold. You got to look for the next handhold, the next foothold, handhold. You're the hiker on this journey. And it's your clues, it's your energies, like no one else's. 20 million people in New Delhi, everybody's lungs are,
Doing the job.
Right. No one's breathing for anybody else. Everybody's breathing for themselves.
Yeah. I have a lot to say, and I'm aware of the time. So I am going to claim that I'm the greatness of simplicity. And I'm going to enjoy it. So whenever I close, I ask whoever I'm talking to share how we can reach you, what people can have, how people can know you, whatever. Nurtured Heart Institute, you guys, that's the main platform. But Howie, I think this is a great opportunity for you to maybe talk about the little mini retreats that you've been doing with John.
Yeah.
Just one sentence and how to find it.
Yeah, it's at Nurtured Heart Institute. I'm sure it's on the training page. We've been doing these hour and a quarter, these 75-minute, 5-week long retreats that do essentially what you just did before our eyes. It was a great capstone. It was great icing on the cake. You essentially took the energies that have been weighing on you today, and maybe you could also, if you've ever swum in those waters before, you could take some of the past too and go, oh, wait a second, I'm going to drink that in too. I'm going to do 10 years of therapy right here. I'm going to take my past of making things complicated, and I double down on simplicity. I love simplicity. I'm the greatness of simplicity. You're an intense person, which is your greatness. You're wonderfully intense. Match the level of intensity of Mussy Diskin with your claim, I am profound, wonderful, successful simplicity. You could define it any way you want.
I actually am, Howie. I actually am.
Tell me.
I am, and I have been for a very long time. And it's very cool. And I'm proud. I'm proud of that. And I feel it.
Yeah, so these retreats will keep coming every
and for
couple of
guys,
months. We've done 4 or 5 already this year.
Yeah, and the gift of this, you guys, is that generally speaking, you can watch recordings of Howard, you can find things, but you can come to the CTI and get trained to be a trainer with him. But this is
Yes.
like live with him, these retreats. So this
Yes.
is
And
like,
if
if
you're,
you want live Howie, like connection and processing going on, and you
yes.
don't have a podcast for him to come on, this is a really cool opportunity.
And we are going to do one in the summer or
Live,
fall in
in
Oregon.
person, in person.
We're going to do an in-person retreat.
Look at that, people.
And that's in the planning. And I do week-long trainings called certification intensives, and I train people who then can teach. They're certified to teach, as do you are one of our global partners who you have reached into the Orthodox community. And I'm very, very excited that you are planning to do one this fall as well.
Well,
We'll see. We'll
we'll
see.
see.
That's I don't.
We're keeping it simple. We're keeping it simple. It's just
Yeah.
going to happen.
See, it's already corresponding. It's coming. I have zero expectation other than I love the thought that you were wanting to do one sooner than later. So that was my excitement. And whether you do one sooner than later, that remains to be seen. So that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
All right.
You're
Allie,
cooking.
thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next time. Hey, wait, don't go yet. Take a minute to find the beautiful quality that you have, that you appreciate about yourself.